Thank you for watching the ABC Professional Tree Services Open Enrollment Benefit video. You have access to an Employee Benefits Enrollment Guide. If you do not know where to locate it, please reach out to Human Resources. They can direct you to the location or email it to you, or they can also mail a printed copy to your home. The benefits we're going to go through today are effective September 1st, 2016 through October 31st, 2017. In your benefit guide, you will have a list of the insurance companies and how to contact them. For the medical will be Blue Cross Blue Shield of Texas. Group policy number is 167395. Provider phone number is 1-800-521-2227. Provider web address is www.bcbstx.com, which stands for Blue Cross Blue Shield Texas, tx.com. There is a new program being offered, which is voluntary dental. The provider name is Unum, U-N-U-M. Group policy number is 691251. Provider phone number is 1-888-222-2685. The provider web address is www.unumdental.com. If you participate in the medical plan, you will get employee-only basic life insurance included. If you do not participate in the medical plan, you cannot buy this as a standalone. You must participate in medical to get the life insurance. Provider name is Dearborn National. Group policy number is F015496. Provider phone number is 1-800-348-4512. And the provider web address is dearbornnational.com. Welcome to your benefits. ABC Professional Tree Services offers excellent benefits to our eligible employees and their families. Your benefits are unique, so our program is designed to be comprehensive and flexible. You will get to choose between 3 different medical options to choose the plan that makes the most sense for you and your family. The elections you make during your open enrollment period will become effective September 1, 2016. Please remember that the U.S. government does have an individual mandate through the Affordable Care Act, also known as the ACA, which requires every individual to have health insurance coverage or pay a penalty. The penalty continues to get higher each year. The penalty for 2016 is the greater of $695 per adult, or 2.5% of your entire household income. After 2016, the flat dollar amount will be indexed for inflation. What types of coverages are acceptable? All of the plans offered through ABC Professional Tree Services are acceptable medical plans defined by the ACA, so they're acceptable and they meet the minimum affordability provisions. So ABC is doing their part to help you comply with the ACA requirements. Who is eligible? You are eligible if you are a full-time employee working 30 or more hours per week. Your spouses, if you are married, are eligible, and your tax-dependent children. Tax-dependent children includes grandchildren if you claim them on your taxes. So that's the clause. If you claim them as dependents, you can put them on the plan. When do you become eligible? You are eligible for benefits on the first of the month following 60 days from your employment date. How to enroll. We are going to go through the enrollment form at the end of this presentation. Open enrollment period ends on August 19th. Coverages are effective September 1st through August 31st of 2017. If you enroll in a plan now, you will be locked in for the entire year. The only way you will be able to make changes to your plans or your participation is if you have a qualified change in status. A qualified change in status includes marriage, divorce, legal separation, birth or adoption of a child, change in child's dependent status, death of a spouse, or qualifying event. So if your child moves to another location and they're not eligible for the location you have here, that's a qualifying event. If your child or you are currently covered by your spouse's plan and they lose that, that is also a qualifying event. So if anything happens, just reach out to HR and let them know the situation and see if you can make changes throughout the year if you need to. What's new in 2016-2017? Key items to note is that we have a brand new voluntary dental, which is a passive PPO offered. ABC Professional Trees did an amazing job of negotiating a dental product that would really be a good option for all of your employees and dependents. Employee only basic life. This means that the only one who's covered is the employee, and you have to enroll in the medical to have access to the basic life and accidental death and dismemberment. Definitions of key insurance terms. A copay. A copay is the standard amount you're going to pay out of pocket when you go see your primary care physician, a specialist, fill a prescription, or go to the urgent care clinic. A deductible. A deductible is the amount of money you're going to pay each calendar year before any coinsurance applies. Services subject to the deductible include inpatient hospital services, outpatient care, and complex imaging. The deductible is based on your calendar year and starts over each January 1st. The family deductible is the same no matter how many dependents are on your plan. If you have already met your deductible in 2016 and you are on the current ABC Professional Tree program, you do not have to do anything. You will get your deductible credit rolled over for September 1st without having to do anything. However, if you are covered through another insurance policy, whether it be an individual policy or through your spouse, you would have to collect your EOB and provide it to Blue Cross Blue Shield so that they know you have met it and they can provide your credit that way. In-network or out-of-network. This describes whether the doctor or facility is contracted with Blue Cross Blue Shield. Blue Cross Blue Shield negotiates with doctors and facilities to provide services to their members at deeply discounted rates. If you go out-of-network, you're going to experience much higher out-of-pocket expenses. We highly recommend that you call the number on the back of your ID card to confirm the doctor you want to see is in-network, or you can download the Blue Cross Blue Shield of Texas mobile app. You can call your doctor and ask them, hey, do you take Blue Cross Blue Shield of Texas, and are you in network with Blue Cross Blue Shield of Texas? Or you can visit the website, which we'll go through in just a second. Coinsurance. Coinsurance is where you have met your deductible and now you and the insurance company are going to share the costs. So after the deductible, you'll pay a percentage and so will the insurance company, up to the out-of-pocket maximum. Okay? The most you will have to pay for covered medical expenses in a plan year through your deductible and coinsurance is your out-of-pocket maximum. What an out-of-pocket maximum does is, even if you have a heart transplant, there's going to be a dollar figure that you will pay, and then you won't have to pay anything else. If you do not have the money to meet your out-of-pocket maximum up front, negotiate with the providers. So go to the hospital and say, look, I need this. This is my out-of-pocket maximum or my deductible. Can we work out a payment plan? And 9 out of 10 times, if you give them a payment up front, they will work with you. So the plans we offer here should cover any expense that you may need. Explanation of benefits. I mentioned this briefly when I was talking about getting credit for your deductible. An explanation of benefits is what you get from your insurance company, whether it's the company that covers ABC Professional Trees or a different insurance company that you have maybe through your spouse. An EOB is generally mailed to your home. However, most of the carriers now also have employee or member web-based services where you can enroll and download these online. And if you can download it online, then you can email it in to get your deductible credit. So this will show how much was submitted to be covered by the insurance company, the discounted rates, how much the insurance company paid, and then your financial responsibility, if any. The EOBs are not bills. If you get your EOB and you do not understand it, call the number on the back of your ID card. Tell them, we're getting this bill, we don't understand it, we don't think it's right, and then you could talk to Blue Cross Blue Shield directly and discuss how to handle that. If you pay a provider and you pay them a mistaken amount, because a lot of times they will bill you automatically whether or not you owe that money, it's harder to get your money back. So we highly encourage you to reach out to Blue Cross Blue Shield, find out how much you should really pay, and then pay that amount. Preventative care services. Preventative care services are established by the Department of Health and Human Services, and all of the plans we offer cover preventative care services at 100%. So as long as you enroll into a plan, you will get your preventative care services at no cost to you. This includes immunizations for children, routine annual physical exams, well baby, well woman, everything that is deemed to be a procedure to prevent further complications if it's not caught is a preventive care service. Keep in mind that technology is constantly changing, and sometimes there's brand new procedures like a special type of mammogram, and until insurance companies can catch up to the technology, sometimes those types of procedures will be declined. So make sure that the procedure you're getting is covered under preventative care so that you're not getting any surprises. Prior authorization, if you know you're going to have a procedure done, you're going to be in the hospital, obviously if you have an emergency it's not going to apply. But if you need to have services rendered, get your prior authorization. This will also be very helpful for you to determine how much it's going to cost you out of your own pocket. Sometimes doctors can be vague and it can be difficult to get all of that together, but call the insurance company, tell them, look, I'm having knee surgery next Thursday. Are you going to cover this? It's by this surgeon. Is he in your network? And just get it all laid out for you. And I would encourage you to always get the conversation or the results of the conversation emailed to you so that you have that for your records. ABC Professional Tree Services offers you 3 different medical plans so that you can pick one that best fits your needs. The more you pay in premium out of your paycheck, the better the benefits. The base HSA is going to be the cheapest plan out of your paycheck. And the base HSA, everything applies towards your deductible. So you'll see here physician visit, specialist, it's going to be 20% after the deductible, which means everything's going to apply to your deductible. However, if you see a physician under the HSA, you're going to get the negotiated rate. So if the doctor charges $150 for people who do not have access to the Blue Cross Blue Shield network, but they charge Blue Cross Blue Shield $70, you will pay the $70. Everything you pay applies towards your deductible. If you are not comfortable with trying to pay some of those costs, or you just want to save the premium, you can, or if you want to pay the additional premium to buy up to the plan with copays, the enhanced PPO has a $35 copay for physician, $65 copay for a specialist, and then the premium is $30.45. As mentioned before, all of these plans have no charge in network for your preventative care. This plan does not require you have a referral to see a specialist. So if you have something on your skin and you want to see a dermatologist, find one in the network and go see them. The idea behind the base HSA plan is to make you a better consumer. So if you can receive that treatment by a physician instead of going to a specialist, you can do that. However, you can also see the specialist if you like. So, urgent care. Urgent care is covered towards a deductible, and then there's copays. Please note that there are new places popping up that look like an urgent care facility because they're not attached to a hospital. However, if they have the word emergency room anywhere on their building, they are going to charge you as an emergency room visit. The time to find your urgent care facility is when you're well, when you're not stressed out because a kid needs stitches or has 105 fever. That is the time to know where to go. So as we go through how to find a network provider, I highly encourage you to figure out where the urgent care facilities are. The deductible. The deductible is going to kick in for the higher priced items as we discussed, except for the HSA. Everything goes towards your deductible. The PPO has the same deductibles as the HSA here. This plan, the difference in premium is going to give you the copays, and then the premium PPO is going to offer you a much lower deductible, which is $1,250. And I'm focusing on employee only just to keep it simple. Obviously, you can read the amounts that may apply to you or your family. Diagnostic testing. On all of the plans, it goes towards the co-insurance. Remember, that's where your cost sharing between you and the health insurance company. So here, the health insurance company is going to pay 20%. The health insurance company is going to pay 80%, and you'll pay 20% after deductible. The enhanced PPO is going to have 0% co-insurance after the deductible, and so will the premium PPO. On the RX, there are out-of-pocket maximums on the RX, which that means is, let's say you went to the doctor a few times, so you didn't have a lot of office visits, but you have very significant RX costs. Once you have met $1,000 a year on this plan, it's going to cover the rest of your prescriptions at 100%. So there's a cap on the prescription drug under these two plans. Prescription drugs. HSA, 20% after deductible. Enhanced PPO, $15 for generic, $35 for a preferred brand, and $65 for a copay on the non-preferred. And the same thing with the premium PPO, except it has a $50 non-preferred copay. If you are going to a facility that has a $4 generic, you're only going to be charged the $4. You're not going to have to pay the $15. You're not going to pay a higher copay than what the Walgreens or CVS charges you. And the out-of-pocket maximum, this is what we discussed previously. This is the worst case scenario. If you had a heart transplant, liver transplant, something massive happened, this is your absolute most you'd pay out of your pocket. And remember, if you do not have the money to foot this bill up front, you can negotiate with the providers. They're still going to be paid by the plan. They can, work with you on the amount that you would have to owe. How to find a doctor. Go to www.bcbstx.com. Click on Find a Doctor, Find a Provider. Then you're going to come up to a new screen. Your network is Blue Choice PPO plan for all three plans. So no matter which plan you take, you have the same network advantage. You would just choose your state and go from there. Or if you want to search by provider type, so you're looking for a dermatologist, you could go here and pick the specialty. If you know your doctor's name and you want to see if your doctor's in the network, you can type that in here. However, sometimes this can be misleading because it could be that Dr. Smith is contracted through the name of his clinic. So you may have to search by clinic, or sometimes with clinics they'll contract with one doctor, but everybody kind of gets a contract. So that can be misleading. In this specific occasion, calling them and asking them if they are in network with Blue Cross Blue Shield is likely the way to go. And then here, you can just put in your zip code, travel distance. And this is cool because they will actually email you the booklet that you can keep, and you can go through there and see who all is in your area, where the urgent care facilities are, all of that. So that's a really good way to search. The medical HSA. As mentioned, with the HSA plan, that's the base plan that's going to be the cheapest in premium. If you participate in that plan, you can put money back with pre-tax dollars. When you do that, you're saving the tax money on it, and as long as you use that money for medical expenses, dental expenses, vision, anything that's not cosmetic, you can use those funds for that at any time. So it's not a use it or lose it. That will be your money to keep. And when you turn age 65, you can withdraw it. So let's say you've saved that money between now and the time you're 65, and you have savings in your HSA account, and you turn 65 and you want to buy a boat, well, go right for it, because you have put the money in there over the years, and that's your money. If you use it for something non-medical related throughout the year and you're not 65, you will have to pay a penalty and a tax on that. So it'll be subject to ordinary income taxes, but you'll know. 2016 HSA contribution limits for the individual is $3,350. For the family is $6,750. The IRS is being super generous and adding an extra $50 next year, but the family stays the same. How to enroll. If you elect the HSA base plan, you will automatically be put into an HSA access plan. So once everybody's in the system with the HSA bank, you can go to myhsabank.com and register. If you have any problems with this, you can also call the 1-800-357-6246. They are open Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 p.m., and even on Saturday from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. The website is hsabank.com. Here is the vision that is new, the dental that is new. The ABC Professional Trees has negotiated a great dental program offered through unumdental.com. If you see an in-network dentist, your money is going to go further, because if you go out of network, they are going to balance bill you. However, there are dentists out there that just don't contract with anybody. So if you love your dentist and he's just not big on insurance, you can still see him, just know that you might be balance billed. Alright, so just like with the medical plan, preventative and diagnostic is covered at 100%. So each year you get your 2 cleanings and you get your x-rays. So you go in for your cleaning and they discover that you need a filling. At that point, you would have to pay your deductible, and then you would pay your co-insurance. Remember, that's cost sharing between you and the insurance company. And if the filling cost $100, you would pay $20 because the insurance company is going to pay 80%. So you got your teeth cleaned, you got your x-rays, you got your filling, and you're going to walk out of there for $50 and then $20 for the filling. So $70. There is no ortho benefit at this time. Hopefully that's something we can add in the future. But basic surgery is covered. The insurance company pays 80% of that. Oral surgery, they're going to pay 80%. Periodontal disease, you're going to get 80% coverage, and endodontics is going to be covered at 80%. Major services will be 50%, which could be, bridges and crowns, that kind of thing. The dental plan is contingent upon 20% of our eligible participants signing up. So if you want dental insurance, now is the time to buy it. Again, this plan is different from an individual plan you can go out and get on your own. If you were to go out and get your own dental insurance as an individual, you would have to satisfy a time period before they'll cover some things. So if you were to buy that plan, you'd have to pay your premiums for up to a year before they're going to cover some of these items. This plan does not have those restrictions. So as soon as you elected it and it's in effect, you can use it, and you won't have any waiting periods. Employee-only basic life and AD&D insurance. This is included with the medical plan only. You cannot buy it on your own. And it's through Dearborn National. So ABC Professional Tree Services provides employees $10,000 group life and accidental death and dismemberment. And what that means is all employees are covered if something bad happens to them, and if what happens to you is an accident, the accidental death and dismemberment portion will pay double. So let's say you were to have a devastating car accident and you didn't make it. Your beneficiary would get $10,000 for the group life and then $10,000 because it was an accident, and so they would get $20,000. This portion also covers loss of eyesight, or if you were to lose a limb or some fingers. There's different benefits that pay out for those sorts of situations. So if that happens, let HR know and they can see if they can help you with the benefit to be paid out. The life and AD&D amount reduces by 35% at age 65 and then to half at age 70. If you want to take it with you, you can. Please note that you have to be actively at work when this plan goes into effect on 9/1. Obviously, if you're not scheduled to work 9/1, that's not an issue. You just have to report to work at your nearest scheduled time. Meaning, if you were to get injured on the last day of this month and you weren't able to return to work, they would delay or postpone your life insurance. Your benefit cost pre-tax. The cost went up a little bit, and I mentioned earlier about the improved technology. We have an aging population, which is a great thing. People are living longer, and that's good stuff. And then with all of the government requirements, which is a lot more paperwork, so there's higher administrative costs. Costs are just simply going up. People are living longer. People have chronic diseases like diabetes and that sort of thing. So the prices are going up. ABC Professional Tree was able to keep that at a minimum for you guys, so it's really good news. You have access to the base HSA plan for $16.66 a week. And keep in mind, this is full coverage. Heart attack, heart transplant, anything like that, you're going to have insurance and you can go to a network provider. Employee spouse, 106.22. Employee and children, 82.68. Employee and family, 184.80. Enhanced PPO, 21.28. Employee and spouse, 118.80. Employee and children, 91.81. Employee and family, 213.73. Premium PPO is 32.70. Premium PPO for employee and spouse is $159.72. Employee and children is $123.76. Employee and family, $279.74. So if you want the HSA plan, this is where everything applies to the deductible, but you can set up a bank account to put some extra money in. That's the $16.66. If you don't go to the doctor that often, you could elect this plan and then put $5 a week into your HSA, and before you know it, you would have money saved up so that if something bad happened, you would have the money available to pay for that with pre-tax dollars, so that lowers your taxable income. And then the PPO is $32.70. You cannot put an HSA in with any of these other plans. If you want a pre-tax HSA plan, you have to enroll in the base HSA plan. Voluntary dental, again, this is the time to buy it. Employee only is $627. Employee and spouse is $1256. Employee and children is $1176, and then employee family is $1995. And this is also taken out of your paycheck on a pre-tax basis. Health savings accounts. If you have a savings account, there's not a minimum balance in there. There could be a $2 a month account maintenance fee. Insurance beneficiaries. It is important to update your beneficiaries. If you have been divorced and you've been remarried, you want to make sure that the new wife is your beneficiary. If something bad happened to you, new wife's not going to be happy when the ex-wife gets the life insurance. So make sure you keep it up to date anytime you have a family status change. Portability and conversion. This means that you can take it with you if you were to retire or go to another job that doesn't offer life insurance. You can keep what you've got. You would just have to pay for it yourself. If you need to ever do this, let Human Resources know. They'll send you the paperwork. Waiver of premium. If you were to become totally disabled and you couldn't work anymore and you lost your ability to make money, you can still keep your life insurance. We just need to make sure that you are set up on waiver of premium so that obviously if you're disabled and you can't work anymore, you want to keep your life insurance. You can do that. Here's the open enrollment form. Right now it's open enrollment, so you're going to select open enrollment. If you are enrolling at a different time than open enrollment, you could be a new hire, rehire, late enrollee. This just select what is your situation. If you need to make changes that we talked about earlier about if you lose your spouse's insurance or you and your spouse get divorced or anything like that, that is a change of status, and then you would need to submit a change form to Human Resources. Last name, first name, middle initial, social security number. If you do not have a social security number, you can apply for an EIN through the state of Texas and you can enroll. The point being that the government wants everybody here to have access to insurance in case something bad happens. They could go to the hospital and have it paid for. So please don't be afraid to enroll and just get your EIN. Birth date, date of hire, home phone, address, your marital status, your gender. Here's where you select what you want. So if you are employee only going to the base plan, you would select it right here. And I meant to mention earlier what the base plan currently is charged is $12 a week. So it went up by $4.66. If you do not want any insurance, decline, say no other coverage, waive, I have other coverage. Keep in mind that the government is going to ask you questions about any offers that you were made for insurance. So if you were to go have care or anything like that and then they wanted to investigate how to get that covered or how to get that paid for, they're going to ask, did you have access to insurance and did you turn it down? All right, so voluntary dental, employee only, $627, employee spouse, $1256. Anyway, just select what you want. If you do not want it, just say decline no other coverage, waive I have other coverage. This is not a benefit that is required by the ACA, so you will not have any penalty for not joining the dental, but I do believe you would be happy to have it so that you can keep your dental health, which affects your medical health, in good standing. If you've selected employee and spouse, here's where you tell us who your spouse is. Again, if your spouse does not have a social security number, get them one through filing for an EIN. Okay, Google it, you can figure it out, and then you can have your spouse covered. So if something were to happen to your spouse, she has insurance too, and then you have a better selection of providers. Right now, if you're uninsured in Houston, you will be treated in Ben-Taub, so this will prevent that from having to happen. And then you add your children. Here's where you elect your HSA amounts. For 2016, remember it was $3,350. And then $3,400 for 2017. You just have to add up how many paychecks you've got from 9/1 through 12/31, and then here it'd be from 1/1 through August of 2017, and then you can add it up and figure out how much you want to take per check. As mentioned on your beneficiaries will be noted here. I know there's not a lot of space, however you can write small and put multiple in here if you want. You do not have to put the social here. However, it makes it much easier if something were to happen to you to have the socials. The percentage right here, everything you put in here has to add up to 100%. So let's say you wanted to leave 75% to your mother and 25% to your sister. You would tell us who your mother is and say 75%. You would tell us who your sister is, and then you put 25%. Then the total is 100%. Let's say you wanted to leave it to your spouse and then your kids. You'd tell us who your spouse is, 50%. Say all kids. And you can even be specific if you want it to be all of your biological kids or if you want it to be all children, including stepchildren. 50% as long as it adds up to 100. Keep in mind, if you leave money to minor children, there will need to be a trust established to make sure that they are taken care of, which can hold up their receiving any funds. It'll be held up in probate until they figure out who it's supposed to go to, and that delays. If something were to happen to you and your kids need to be taken care of, that money is going to be tied up. So it's best to set up a trust or name somebody that you trust to take care of your kids. Contingent beneficiary, this will be the person who would get the money if your beneficiaries were no longer alive. So they're the backup. So if something happened to the beneficiaries you put here, that would be your backup. You can also put 100%. Say you want to leave it all to one person and you just put 100%. And if they're not around, another person, and put 100%. So that's it. Then you would need to sign and date, and you are done. If you have any questions, reach out to Human Resources. Call the numbers on the back of your ID cards and consider whether or not you want to buy the dental, because I think it's a really good offering. You get the discounted rates by getting a lot of people to sign up. It makes it cheaper and it makes it better coverage. Thank you very much.